Hello everyone and welcome to Crypto Night, the crypto investor channel. I'm Boris, so let's dive in. I'm with Colton today. Hello Colton.
Hey Boris, I hope we're doing well. Welcome back to the CryptoNet channel, everyone.
All right, today let's look at Cardano. So Cardano is currently sitting at 45 cents. It's ranked number 8, so it's very high in the ranking. Probably one of the highest coins we have discussed. Market cap is $15 billion currently at the current price. And they have 45 billion coins max supply total, and 33 billion are in circulation right now. If we look at the price over the past 7 days, it's fairly flat. It hasn't moved much. On 14 days, it's dropped a little bit. On 30 days, it's pretty much flat. 90 days, kind of flat as well. And on 180 days, we see a major drop. That's the whole market. Everybody knows what's going on with the market. The all-time high was at 309, which is important to know. So we're down 85%, and it was actually September last year that they didn't run all the way to their all-time high in November last year, like some other coins or most other coins. So let's go ahead with the questions.
Yeah, my first question for you today, Boris, is what is Cardano and what makes it so special?
Lots of great information on Cardano.org. They also have a very good presence on Twitter. They're actually one of the most tweeted project out there. The other thing that's great is their Discord, if you want to dive really deep into what they're working on currently and what's going on. But Cardano, that's an L1. So it was created by Charles Hutchinson, who's also one of the co-creator of Ethereum. So the guy knows what he's doing. Basically, they created, 3 guys created Ethereum. One of them left to go create Polkadot, and the other one went on to create Cardano. So it's basically a competitor, of course, to Ethereum. It's a level 1. The difference is that they have very low fees on all their transactions, unlike, of course, Ethereum. And Charles' approach of developing Cardano has been slow but steady. So extremely stable. Cardano's never crashed. It's never been down. They release slowly. Sometimes some people actually criticize him for being a little too slow, but they slowly release new things and new projects and new features on their roadmap. But they test the hell out of it. So every time they release something, it's pretty solid. And if they don't feel confident that it's solid enough, they don't release, they keep on doing. That's the reason why the latest release, which is the Vezel fork, so to speak, even though Cardano doesn't work the same way as Ethereum and other blockchain, when it forks, it doesn't create another coin. ADA is the only coin, and it doesn't create new coins. That particular release was delayed by a few months because on the testing they were not completely satisfied with everything. But as of September 22nd, so just a few days ago, they actually released it. And now, what does that mean? Mainly, the smart contracts are working a lot faster. So now we're seeing roughly the same speed than Ethereum, as far as everything being done on smart contracts. So that's pretty much who they are. Of course, they're proof of stake, and on the environment side, they claim, like a few others, that they are pretty much with zero carbon footprint, etc., etc.
Yes, sir. Okay, that's awesome. My next question for you, Boris, is do they have any new or upcoming projects that they haven't released yet?
Yes. I mean, They have already done quite a bit. And here they also have the roadmap.cardano.org, which shows you, the different stages. We're approaching the last stage, which is mainly the governance that they're going to be working more on. They're very decentralized. They already have smart contracts, the scaling. That was pretty much what we saw with the latest release. And the other cool thing is they have essential Cardano.io, and you have development updates, and weekly they release new things. So if you click here, for instance, they show you, their weekly report on what's going on. So of course the Vessel, release that was triggered on September 22nd, and all the other things that they are working on. And you see Fund 9 voting closed. So basically, on a weekly basis, if you want to follow what's going on with them, you can see every week, and you can even backtrack to a while back to see what is going on with Cardano. So they keep people very updated on everything.
Yes, sir.
Now, what's important to note as well is this. Cardano TVL up by 565,000%. So that's a big number. This is a very interesting thing that they just started as well. ADA, finance lending instrument. As you see, ADA is spelled with two A's, almost like Aave, because that's exactly what it is. It's a lending and borrowing platform, very similar to Aave, except that it's working with Cardano. So I pulled up the website, and as you see, you have lending and borrowing, and it works very much so like Aave. One thing that's interesting to note, they also do NFT bonds. So that's kind of original. You can borrow and lend loans again and deposit into NFT bonds. So a little bit different. But if you go in here, when you go into the ADA, I don't know how to pronounce it. Is it ADA or ADA? But basically, you can see the interest, on the loans. They're starting to have, I'm sure they're going to add more and more coins. Now it's all in the Cardano ecosystem. So you can also do some staking. You can do governance. So you can do a lot of different cool things. Like I said, very, very similar to Aave, except that it's working on the Cardano ecosystem. And that's what this article is saying. In the last 7 days, only in the last 7 days, they have reached an astonishing 873% of growth. So that's huge,
Yeah.
And so we can see the adoption is almost immediate. Now, of course, when you're working with low numbers, the percentage are huge. If you go from 5 users to 10,000 users, that's thousands of percent. So obviously, it's easy to grow by gigantic numbers whenever you're just starting. But still, it's interesting to note, that they are growing quite fast. And in this article, it was funny that news is not really relevant, but it's just funny that Snoop Dogg's son released a music album inspired by Cardano. So just a little funny news. And the other thing to look at, which is interesting, is the Cardano is gaining some traction against Bitcoin. So if you do a trading pair between Cardano and Bitcoin, Cardano has been gaining. Lately it's been going up. So the main thing about the article is that it's growing, but be careful. We have some regulations that might be coming. So, and that's the danger for pretty much everybody right now. What's going to be some of the regulations coming out?
Yeah.
So we have to be careful with that. We are on shaky ground right now with what's going on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you for all the information there, Boris. My next question for you is, can you stake Cardano, and do you have any recommendations where we should be doing that?
Yeah, so obviously on that new ADA platform, you can, you have staking, but very commonly you can stake on the Trust wallet.
Okay.
You can stake on the Atomic wallet. And you have exchanges that also, like Binance, for instance, allows you to stake. You know, they call it staking, but it's not exactly staking, but works the same way basically. And usually what you're going to see is about 5%, anywhere between 4 to 5% on most platforms. Okay. So usually it's pretty easy to stake as well. And every few days, first of all, you have a 21-day locking mechanism whenever you stake on an ADA pool. That means that it doesn't start accumulating for 21 days. So for the first 21 days, basically you don't make any money. And after 21 days, it starts accumulating and it pays roughly every 10 days, you get some rewards. You can claim those rewards. And when you claim them, they can get restaked automatically, or you can get them out and maybe use them for something else, maybe trade or sell, whatever.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's the percentage you can expect from staking Cardano.
Okay, awesome. My last question for you today, Boris, is probably the most important one, but can you give us a price prediction and where it's going in the future?
As we saw, the all-time high was 309. So we're way down 85%. Now, Cardano shouldn't have, especially in a bull run environment, shouldn't have too much of a hard time getting back to those levels. On the next bull run, we should see probably getting back to all-time high, I would say fairly easily and fairly quickly. Now, it all depends on how big the next bull run is. One thing to keep in mind, I think we're going to see diminishing returns, especially with Bitcoin, meaning that the bull run are going to be less and less impressive. And it's normal, because when it started, Bitcoin was at nothing. It was like at a cent or 10 cents or whatever. So of course, jumping to $1,000 or a few $100s was a gigantic jump in percentage. And then it jumped from 1,000 to 20,000, and then it jumped from, and then went back down to $3,200, and then it jumped to 6,900. But the jumps are going to be less and less impressive, because over time, those assets, they become less and less risky. More and more people get into it. So of course, we see diminishing returns. So, but even with that, most likely Cardano will go back to all-time high fairly easily. And pretty much we can see that by 2030, which is 7 years from now, at this point, we should see, around 653 would be a target. Now, some of them have, forecasted that it would reach 22 by the end of 2022 and 100 by the end of 27, but, that didn't happen. So I think 653 is very conservative. I definitely think that we could see even a much higher number than this. When I say much higher, it could be 8, 9, 10. That is not out of the realm of possibilities. And then on the timing, they said 653 by 2030. I think they're trying to be really, really conservative and not to be too shilling and, just cheering for Cardano and making some unrealistic predictions. So to me, 653 could probably happen even before 2030. It could be happening by 25, 26, 27, something like that.
Gotcha.
So it has a good way to potentially run up, but just be aware that there's always the danger of regulations. And the other thing is they're trying to build, the last thing you got to keep in mind is they're trying to build probably one of the best layer one out there, which is great. And they're taking their time. Like I said, sometimes people criticize them for taking too much time. And sometimes people run impatience, and the danger of Cardano is they can get passed by Solana or by another one that would be faster to release their products to market.
Yeah.
And that could be the danger for Cardano, that they take a little too long to release things and people eventually get a little tired of waiting.
Thank you for all that information today, Boris. From my side, that's all the questions I have for today, but please feel free to add anything that you like.
Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you, Colton. We look forward to see you on the next video from Kryptonite. I hope this video helps. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. And if you like the video at the end, click on the thumbs up.